Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and it is time for your Leeds versus Leicester City preview. As you can see, I've got this like little rat's tail on my top lip. The ginger's yet to come out yet, but I am doing Movember, hence why I look so shiny and sleek. Please do sponsor me, guys. Please do sponsor me. And before we get into the video and to the nuts and bolts of Leicester City, please subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in, hit the notification bell, and please do subscribe. We recently passed 7K. We want to get to 10K, man. You guys can make that happen. Please like the video and, of course, subscribe to the channel. But let's get straight into Sunday's opponents, Leicester City. Just to give you an indication of where I'm at currently, I do not go along with a lot of Leeds fans that are, in this thing of Leeds are 8th in the form table. My eyes don't lie to me. Performances have not been great this season. You could pick out maybe Watford, Wolves for 30 minutes against West Ham. But even against Norwich, the game we won last week, I thought we were really poor. So I am really nervous going into this game. Of course, there are positives to take from Leicester's current form for Leeds United, but they are a great side. So it's going to be a game that we are going to find tough. But let's speak about Leicester. They have had to switch formation this season and go with a 5 at the back, 3 centre-backs due to the loss of James Justin, Fofana, who is an excellent centre-back. And there have been plenty defensive issues for Leicester City this season. The signing of Vestergaard hasn't really worked for them, which I'm quite surprised at. I thought he would have been a decent signing. JUSTJOE's had a bit of a nightmare season. I think Ndidi's out. So there's been a lot of chopping and changing at the back. A bit like you could say Norwich City, of course, they're totally different sides. I mean, Norwich are pants, but what Norwich had to do, obviously, came up, tried to play expansive. They've then had to switch the formation up because they're leaking too many goals. They've gone with 5 at the back. They're still leaking too many goals. And you could say the same for Leicester, although now that Evans has come in, they are a little bit stronger, a little bit more stronger in that position. But Leicester City have conceded on average 2 goals per game. And have conceded at least 2 goals in 5 of their last 6 matches in the Premier League. So there are chances that Leeds United can capitalise on. Of course, I think Rafinha is going to be playing off the right. JUSTJOE is going to be playing the left centre-back role. And that's an area where I really think Leeds United can get at Leicester City. In terms of Ndidi being out as well, he's a massive loss, but who will come in? There will be Samari, who, of course, Leeds United have been linked to in the summer. And I heard a Leicester fan speaking about him this week and saying he's had a bit of an up and down start, but he does look like a Rolls Royce of a player, which we're all aware of. He actually likened him to Yaya Toure. Long way to go for that yet. He is still very, very young. But one of the key things that I did pick out from what the Leicester fans said, this was on the All Stats Aren't We preview podcast. I have to give shout out to them guys. But the Leicester fans said that he's finding it hard to adjust to having so little time on the ball. Obviously, previously he was at Lille, and in French football, they must get, I suppose I say they must get more time on the ball. Any other league in world football gets more time on the ball than what you do in the Premier League. It's so fast-paced, and Samari's having difficulty dealing with that. And I see that as an area that Leeds United can capitalise on, obviously, where we're a pressing side. And if Samari is going to dawdle on the ball, then get at him, get at him. Just some more, transfers that they brought in, of course, Patson Daka, who scored 4 goals for them not so long ago in the Europa League. He has similar numbers to Haaland when Haaland was at Salzburg. So he's a player brought in that could be used. I'm not sure he'll start, but I'm thinking he'll certainly come on to the pitch from the bench, depending on how the game's going. And he looks to be the long-term successor to Jamie Vardy. Of course, as well, Leicester actually played yesterday, drew 1-1. Jamie Vardy missed a late penalty, and I was really surprised with Brendan Rodgers' lineup. It was very, very strong. And we know that teams, when playing in Europe, always struggle on the weekend. Like, it's a known thing. I don't know why it doesn't translate to the Champions League, but whenever you're in the Europa League and then you play on the weekend, you seem to struggle. And last night they were playing at Spartak Moscow, which is a long-haul flight. And I know they're professional footballers, but these little increment gains that that you can get, you have to take, and Leeds United can surely benefit from that. Look, I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this match. I do, just due to the defensive nature of Leicester and, of course, us currently. I mean, we've seen over 2.5 goals in our last 3 matches against Leicester in all competitions. Obviously, losing 4-1 at Oilland Road and beating them 3-1 at their place last season. And Leicester themselves have had over 2.5 goals scored in their last 7 away games. I think they will line up with a 3-4-3 or 5 at the back, however you want to look at it. Schmeichel in goal, Soyuncu, Evans and Amati. Again, look, they're missing James Justin. They're missing Fofana. It's not their strongest back line. So I think we can get at Soyuncu. Obviously, Evans is carrying a knock. He's only just recently back. And Amati, again, he wouldn't be in that back line had the other players been fit. Ricardo Pereira at right wing back, Castagna at left wing back. I do think it'll be Somari and Tielemans in the midfield. Of course, this is one player that does worry me, Yuri Tielemans. What an absolute baller. I do think he'll leave Leicester City in the summer. I think he deserves to be playing Champions League football. I'm sorry, it's a fact. And a bit like Rafinha and a bit like Calvin Phillips, when that time comes, we have to accept that fact as well. But Yuri Tielemans, what worries me is obviously Leeds United have been devoid of any midfield this season at times. And I think if he's given so much time on the ball to dictate the pace of the game, breaking the lines, laying on them assists for a Vardy, for a Iheanacho, for a Daka, however they decide to line up, it's going to be difficult for us. So Tielemans is someone we need to take, special care of. I think Maddison will line up, in the 10, as it were, behind Iheanacho and Vardy. Obviously, Iheanacho played last night alongside Daka. Vardy had to be used as well. So that's a positive in Leeds United's cap that they went with such a strong lineup. But alternatively, guys, they could also line up with just Vardy up top and go more with, a 5-3-3, as it were. And maybe Maddison and Iheanacho could drop out. And Harvey Barnes and Ademola Lookman, who they've got on loan, obviously spent time at Fulham last season, could cause us real problems as well. If they went with the 3 in attack, can you imagine Vardy, Harvey Barnes and Lookman running at our back line? Cooper, I'm a massive fan of his. I always sing his praises, but we know he doesn't do well against pace. Although he competed with Adama Traore really well, but if you look at his performance against Alan Saint-Maximin, like chalk and cheese, them two. So hopefully he's on his game, because it's going to be a difficult afternoon for our backline, however they line up. If they go with Iheanacho and Vardy, or if they would go with the 3 at the top, Barnes, Lookman and Vardy, that'll be difficult. I think as a Leeds United fan, people might not agree, because if they do go with the 3 up top, the 2 wingers and Vardy, we'll line up with a back 4. And I think Leeds United perform better as a back 4. And if we line up with the back 3, like I say, we just don't seem to have the same level of performance, being able to create chances, bringing it out from the back. Everything just seems to be lacking when we do go with that back 3. But I think I would rather face Iheanacho and Vardy in a 2 as opposed to Lookman, Barnes and Vardy. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are, because if we do go with the 2, obviously we have to play with the 3-3-1-3. And if we play with Vardy, Barnes and Lookman, then we go with a back 4. And that's going to be something we have to remember going into this game, because one of the key things coming out from the press conference, Bielsa says, from his perspective, Rodgers is one of the best coaches in the league. And I think we all agree with that. I think he's an elite level coach. And he says he changes formations with sense. They are well formed and articulated. And I think there's a very big chance that during the game, Brendan Rodgers will switch it up. He did that against Arsenal in the second half, switched it up. And I think Leeds United need to be aware of that. And obviously that then is going to cause issues in terms of our lineup. I know, like, if we go back to Norwich last week, it was difficult to work out who was playing where. We had, Dan James, Harrison, interchanging, players everywhere. It was really difficult to track. And I know a lot of people were saying, why aren't we bringing on X player? Why aren't we bringing on this? But there is so much goes into Leeds United formations that you need to have the mental fortitude to know where you are. And I think that's why he uses a Harrison and James, etc., because they're non-stop running. They know where they need to be, And I know a lot of us would like to see a lot of the youth thrown into the side, but there's reasons as to why they're not quite there yet. But from a Leeds United perspective, there's no Bamford, there's no Ayling, there's no Robin Koch. Bamford, what's concerning, he actually said he can't give no time frame on that injury. And I've seen a good Leeds content creator in Josh Hobbs saying, oh no, he's got a touch of the foreshores. Please tell me that is not the case, because I'm hoping, I weren't expecting him back for this weekend. I'm hoping we have the international break and we have Bamford and Ayling back in the side. And of course, Robin Koch closer to the first team as well, because having better depth just improves your chances. It sounds like everyone else is ready, but there are decisions still to be made on Junior Firpo and Jamie Shackleton. Look, people might not agree with me, but if Jamie Shackleton's not ready, I think it could be of benefit to us. I'd like to see Cody Drameh start personally. I think going forward, he offers us more than what Jamie Shackleton does. However, I'd like to see Junior Firpo back in the side. And the reason that is that's just going to give us a little bit more flexibility when we do go into the game. Because however Leicester line up and how they change it in game is obviously going to reflect at Leeds United. So, for example, if we were to go with the 4-1-4-1, personally, I'd like to see Cody Drameh at right back. If Shackleton's not fit and Dallas is good to go, I think Dallas plays in there. And the reason that is, and I'll explain it later, is because we're going to have to move people around. I think the centre-back partnership will be Llorente and Cooper and Junior Firpo at left-back. Now, if Junior Firpo isn't fit, Dallas has to move to left-back because we don't have one. And then Cody Drameh plays at right back for me, and that's only if Shackleton's not fit. If Shackleton's not fit, Firpo's not fit, then we'll have Dallas at left back, Jamie Shackleton at right back. Honestly, it's all over the shop at the minute. I think Strauch will play in the DM role, Raf off the right, James off the left, and KP and Click in the middle of the park. That's if, of course, Dallas has to play in one of the wing-back roles, and Rodrigo up top. Now, if, of course, it has to switch and we have a 3-3-1-3. I hope you're following me, because, you know, I don't think I'm following myself. I think the back three will be Llorente, Cooper, Strauch, Dallas right wing back, Firpo left wing back, KP, Click, Raf, Rodrigo, James. And that then allows for interchangeability within the game. We can switch to a 4-1-4-1 and then to a 3-3-1-3. Depending on how Leicester switch it up during the game. But that's also dependent on players being fit, because if Firpo's not fit, then Dallas will have to go on the left. But what if Jamie Shackleton's not fit? So then Jamie Shackleton, Cody Drameh maybe, and that could be a benefit, because I'd like to see more of Cody Drameh. But honestly, I wish I could give you like 100% solidified lineup, but I genuinely don't know. But one thing coming out is, of course, that Bamford, Ayling and Koch are still not ready yet. Fitness shouts on Firpo and Shackleton. We shall have to wait and see. Look, in terms of prediction, my head tells me we're going to lose this game. It does. I think we lose the game 2-1. My heart, after doing some research, seeing how many goals Leicester are conceding, we're also struggling to keep clean sheets as well. I mean, Norwich scored against us, for God's sake. My heart tells me 3-2 Leeds United. And that would be a fantastic Sunday afternoon at Ellen Road. And we win the game. But heart overhead, my head's ruling me at the moment, just due to what I'm seeing on the pitch. And, you know, guys, I'd back us to win games, but this season it's just the performances. And I think, again, due to players being out, due to the fact that, you know, you've got Firpo, Shackleton maybe not ready, it's going to be square pegs in round holes, and there's going to be a lot of interchanging during the game that it's going to be difficult for a Leeds United fan to follow. One thing's key, the crowd has to be on it, and I think we will. You know, after seeing what we did at Wolves, I think we'll be on it from minute one. I think Pascal was great against Norwich. I'm hoping for more of the same. He's getting more used to playing in that DM role, and that maybe gives us more when Calvin can move into the sort of 8 role or a little bit higher up, as we see him with England. Maybe that's something we might see more of. He needs to be on it, though. I thought he was poor against Arsenal and largely very poor against Norwich, in my opinion. Obviously, Raf's the man, and he has to target Soyuncu. Look, going forward and scoring goals, Leicester, for fun. They can do it. Right? We need to be great defensively. But also they're conceding a lot. And I look at that back line, Evans, Amati, Soyuncu, it can be got at. Soyuncu specifically, and Rafa's going to be up against him. And every game we've seen Rafa in this season, whoever he's been up against, he's give them a torrid time. And I think he can do the same to Soyuncu. So hopefully, you know, we can get a positive result. There will be goals in this game. I will be going goals. I will be backing Leeds United over 2.5. And yes, they will win the game. But of course, my head tells me I'm just throwing money away. But it is what it is. Look, Leicester should win the game just due to where we're at currently. If we can win this game, it's absolutely huge because, as I said, the next few are difficult. We've got Tottenham after the international break. I mean, they scored 3 last night. Conte being in the door 2 minutes. I don't think they'd scored 3 in so many games previously. So, yeah, the running's going to be difficult. We've got Brighton and then we've got Palace and Brentford, which might be must-win games depending on how these goes. But for me, we're still in that scrap. I hope I'm proved wrong. Maybe in another 10 games' time, I was thinking, what was I worried about? I don't think we'll go down. I don't. But at the minute, it's tough, isn't it? It's tough because we've been spoiled for the last 3 seasons under Bielsa, being in every game, creating chances in every game. And this season, that hasn't translated to the pitch. The 49ers have just increased their stake to 44% with some fresh investment. Maybe that might mean we might get some players in the door in January, which isn't really, normally an area we look to capitalise on in January. And when we have, it's been poor. It's been poor, JKA and the like. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But we have to get there first, and we have to get there and try get points on the board. Leicester, not had a great start to the season, lost midweek, been playing in Europe. That's a benefit for Leeds. They're conceding goals. I know we are too. They can score, but hopefully we can come out on top. My head, as I said, is telling me 2-1 Leicester. My heart, 3-2 Leeds United. Let's hope that the heart rules the head. But that's it from me in your Leicester preview. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe, comment, notification bell, and sponsor me for Movember. And if you're at the game, I'll see you there. Have a great weekend. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.